Before we begin, I'd like to thank Diva Nightrose Goldsmith for this great fan art. Thank you, I really like it. If anyone has fan art, they can email it to me or tweet me at @HiIamSnek and I'll put it in an upcoming video. Thank you again, and now let's get to the rest of the video. A tower filled with mourning and sorrow. A mother's sacrifice for her child. People experience in talking to the dead possessed by their clients. A chilling white hand on someone's shoulder. You walk into the haunted building for the first time all alone on a rescue mission to save an old man kidnapped by an evil team, not knowing of the horrors within. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the first encounter you have with ghost-type Pokemon in the first generation of games. Lavender Town was a place not like any other in all of the Kanto region. Most of the game is about a happy, fun adventure with your Pokemon as you try to be the very best, like no one ever was. But when you get to Lavender Town, things took a dark turn. And this theme kind of stuck with many other games in the franchise. Wherever ghost-type Pokemon were common, the area had a haunted or somber vibe to it. It's like they infect the entire area with their presence, changing it forever. This particular type is one of the most interesting groups of Pokemon for me. The lore behind some of these creatures are fascinating and sometimes a little sad. Some are tormented souls and others are vengeful spirits. I love ghost types and I like to learn a lot about them. I think I'd like to say I'm a bit of an expert in this type of Pokemon, never once making a mistake in researching them at all. Now take that Snorunt. Make sure it's female. Give her a Duskstone, and she'll turn into Frostlass.
Give her a Duskstone.
This is what happens when you don't edit your scripts and forget to correct anything before you upload. I did that on purpose so you guys can learn a valuable lesson on checking your script before committing to making the rest of a video. Yeah, let's go with that. But back on topic, today I want to look at some of my personal favorite ghost-type Pokemon and explain why I like these guys so much. This was a Pokemon I really wanted to cover in my Pokedex entries video, but I already put in so many others that I just couldn't fit it in. But Alolan Marowak Sun entry definitely deserves to be mentioned.
The bones it possesses were once its mother's. Its mother's regrets have become like a vengeful spirit protecting this Pokemon.
Remember the Marowak in the original games that sacrificed her life so her child could escape from Team Rocket? Can you imagine if this is what happened to that little Cubone? That its mother, after dying, instead of haunting Team Rocket in the Pokemon Tower, she chose to possess the bones her child wore and became this fearsome beast? That's a whole new level of spooky, scary skeletons there.
Then shivers down your spine.
As of this recording, Alolan Marowak sits nicely in Smogon's OU tier, and for good reason. It has poor speed and HP, but it makes up for that in other ways. Firstly, Ghost Fire is a good typing all around, making it resist 7 other types of attacks and immune to 2 types. Marowak has great physical defense, and its species exclusive item Thick Club doubles that base 80 attack, making it a big threat if you don't have ways of countering it. Better hope it doesn't have a bone to pick with you. I'm really sorry for that. That was trying too hard to be a good pun. I'm going to hell for this, aren't I? I already talked about Mimikyu in a previous top 5, so I won't say a whole lot here. Mimikyu has a great offensive presence with his Ghost Fairy typing paired up with the ability Disguise, giving it a free switch in or turn to set up and possibly sweep your opponent's team. Mimikyu has that ability because its real body is being protected by its Pikachu costume it is always seen wearing. However, once hit, the disguise breaks and Mimikyu spends the entire night having to repair it. That's kinda sad. It made the costume all by itself just so it can be loved like Pikachu, but its costume breaks and it feels the need to repair it in an attempt to keep feeling loved. It almost makes me not want to ever use it in battle so its costume will never tear. What's a list of creepy ghost types if it doesn't include the Pokemon equivalent to the devil?
Some see him as an evil counterpart to Arceus' god character, while others see him as a noble guardian who made the ultimate sacrifice in service to the greater good.
But which one is he?
Oh, wait, what's that? Some people say Giratina may not be Pokemon's version of Satan, but it has God represented as Arceus, so why can't the series have the titular fall in second in command? Looks like I'll be digging deeper into this within the next couple of weeks. But let's just not focus on its lore right now. Giratina has two forms, Origin and Altered, and both serve different purposes. The Altered form is more bulky while its Origin form is more suited for attacking, but both forms have enough stats in both attacks and defenses so you don't really have to settle with one specific strategy when using a certain form. It's Ghost Dragon, meaning that even if you want to use Giratina as a wall, you still have to watch out for very common attacks like Knockoff and Draco Meteor. However, you can avoid them for one turn thanks to its move Shadow Force, a 2-turn attack that can even hit while your opponent is using Protect. It can come in handy if you're up against a Wish Protect stalling Pokemon, unless it's Umbreon, that is. Have you ever been in a room and the temperature goes down rapidly? Well, ghost hunters say it's a sign of an otherworldly being, but in the Pokemon world it could very well be Gengar. He's a pretty fun, mischievous type in the anime. He just likes to have a spooky time, that's all. But in the game, his mischievousness is a bit darker. He likes to put curses on people and hide in dark alleyways waiting for his next victim. You see that Gengar from before? He's just pretending to have a fun time. He's really just waiting for you to be all alone so his fun can really begin. Though if you have a Gengar on your team, they are very loyal to their trainers. And with stats like this, how can you say no to using one of these ghosts in battle? And as an added bonus, you can make your Gengar even stronger thanks to Mega Evolution. You thought Gengar was a threat before? When it's a Mega Gengar, your opponent will not be able to switch out unless it's a ghost type. It basically won't let you go unless you're already dead. Think about that the next time you feel a room's temperature rapidly decrease. Okay, as per usual, let's quickly go over a few honorable mentions. We will start with Golurk, who, unlike most Pokemon on this list, is a friendly ghost. It is said to be a man-made Pokemon designed to protect humans, so you wouldn't go wrong with having one as a bodyguard. Also, it can fly. Wait, what? Huh, learn something new every day. Cofagrigus is quite literally a mummy. Its pre-evolution Yamask are the souls of people who carries masks of its face when it was alive, and Cofagrigus is the living sarcophagus for this soul. The coffin itself is said to be made of gold, which could tempt greedy people to try and steal it for themselves. They should be warned though, Cofagrigus likes to eat people and turn their corpses into mummies or encase them in gold. Trust the Midas touch! Mischievous doesn't quite look like the other ghosts in this list because it's actually kinda cute. But don't be deceived by her innocent appearance. She loves to play pranks and startle people. She loves seeing shocked reactions. I wonder if the spirits trapped inside a Five Nights at Freddy's animatronic is really just a Mischievous obsessed with jump scares. And finally, let's look at Rotom. An interesting Pokemon that loves electronics, including Pokedexes. However, if Rotom possesses an electronic and takes on its form, it will no longer be a ghost type. And regular Ghost Rotom is sadly outclassed by most of its other forms. It's okay, original Rotom. I still like ya. Yep, my favorite Ghost-type Pokemon is this Fiery Spirit back from 5th gen. I wasn't really impressed when I first saw Litwick or Lampent, but I needed an answer to fighting types in my first playthrough of Pokemon Black, and so I used one of these little lanterns. When I used a Duskstone to evolve it into Chandelure, I was pretty happy I decided to use this Pokemon. I just love Chandelure's design. It's the perfect mixture of fun and spooky. Chandelure has a couple of abilities that make it pretty suitable for different strategies. It has Flash Fire, perfect for when you need an immunity to fire-type attacks and a boost to your own fire-type moves. I like to use this to switch into a predicted Flamethrower or Fire Blast, predict another switch to set up a substitute, set up again with Calm Mind, and then sweep the opponent's team. Don't forget to make it hold leftovers, it'll need all the recovery it can get. However, if you're worried an opponent will use this exact strategy with their Pokemon, you can bring a Chandelure with the ability Infiltrator, which hits Pokemon despite having a substitute up. Ghost-type Pokemon are really cool and can be a little frightening once you start to look into the lore of some of them. They definitely earn their reputation, and many on this list make for great offensive team builds. But what's your favorite ghost type? Which one would you not want to see creeping up behind you in a dark alley? Let me know, and with all that, I'll see y'all later.